Hi guys, Perla here. Swear to God, I always have to fix my shirt every time I'm gonna start a video. Sorry. Welcome to my channel, Imperfectly Perfect. So I am feeling a lot better. I've been getting more sleep, and just in general, kind of like my body's kind of getting back to normal. Now, with that being said, I'm a little annoyed because I have to go back on Thursday, so in 2 days, supposed to get another injection. So we'll see how that goes. Anywho, this video I've been wanting to make for a while. I am going to try my best to not make it too long. So I have my little notebook, but I also have a regular dictionary. So now this is not, and I'm sorry for the glare, I don't know what's going on. I don't have, like, this is not a medical dictionary or anything like that. I will be in the description for the video, I'm going to be putting links for how do you say it, websites like to that go more into like sleep and narcolepsy and things like that, so that everybody that wants to do their research can go ahead and do it. This is not a medical channel. This is just a channel where I get to share my personal experience and what my children and myself are going through when it comes to sleep. So with that being said, see, this is just like a regular dictionary that I have for like the kids to use at home. So based on the description of this dictionary, narcolepsy is described as a condition characterized by brief attacks of deep sleep. Now, so in order to kind of fully understand narcolepsy or try to get the concept of what narcolepsy is, you would have to understand what our sleep cycles are. So depending on where you go, there are different information out there, but it's basically the same thing. So there's different stages to sleep. There is so I'm going to be using the sleep.org website because I really like their thorough information on it. So when a normal person normally falls asleep, you go through these stages, and based on what the website says, and like I said, you guys can go ahead and look into it. Normal people are supposed to last a certain amount of time in each stage, and throughout the night we go, let's say, okay, the website I believe has stage 1, 2, then 3 and 4 is kind of combined, and then you have REM. So the website characterizes as 5 different stages. As if you go to one of the apps or you go somewhere else, you can have 4 stages, 3 stages. It really depends how they want to give out the information. But the whole point is that you're going into different stages, and when you normally fall asleep, you spend a certain amount in and out of these stages. Now, when a normal person wakes up, and I don't know if you've ever noticed, like, you have certain mornings where you wake up and you wake up a little bit more alert, or a little bit more, better or whatever. Those are the times that you're waking up in between stages, which is ideally what we're supposed to be doing as humans. Now, the mornings when you feel like a little bit more tired, or you feel like you didn't get enough rest and stuff like that, that's normally when you're waking up in between, like where you're still inside of a stage, usually when you're still in REM. So when a person has narcolepsy, what tends to happen is sometimes we skip stages 1. Not first stage, I'm just saying, like, that's step 1 or one of the things that happen, you know what I mean. So sometimes we skip stages altogether, or we go through them completely quickly, and we seem to get stuck in REM. Now, REM is the dream stage. So during REM, we are actively, our brain is basically actively awake. So that's where the rapid eye movement is going and stuff like that. So our brain is working. So our brain is not getting the rest that normally comes within like stage 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to put it. So we also tend to start dreaming before we fall asleep. So and we seem to just kind of get stuck there. So that's basically one of the main things. So when they say, a lot of people think like, okay, you just need more sleep, or you're just a sleepyhead. Now, a sleepyhead, I found that word too. It was in this dictionary, which I thought was kind of funny. A sleepyhead, see if I can find it. A sleepyhead is, what is it? I know. Sleepyhead, a sleepy person. So we are not sleepyheads. Um, even though we're tired. That's what happened. Anyways, so what tends to happen is a lot of people think that we need more sleep as far as like the quantity, and that's not the case. The problem is that because the quality of our sleep is so poor because we don't spend the adequate amount of time in each stage, we tend to sleep extra hours or sleep throughout the day or nap throughout the day to try and balance the amount of sleep that we spend in each stage. So, how can I put it like in a way that can make sense? I'm trying to see what analogy I can use. I don't even know. Nothing is coming to mind right now. But anyways, that's basically what's going on. The fact that we unfortunately don't get the quality. And I think that's one of the biggest things for people to kind of understand, because it's like, okay, if I like, people would tell me, well, just go take a nap. Well, it doesn't work that way. Our basically we all have our internal clocks. And you know how some people saying, oh yeah, I get up at 5 every morning with no alarm clock. Oh yeah, I get up at 6 with no alarm clock. I go to bed at this time. Yeah, that's your internal clock. So your clock gets used to whatever it is that you normally do. Now, when you have a person that has narcolepsy, and I mean, we can go into details as far as like the oroxin and everything else, like the chemicals and stuff like that. And I can definitely make another video as far as like my perspective of how I understand it. But when your internal clock is broken, you can try and try and try and try to fix it, but there is no fixing it. It is going to do whatever it wants to do when it wants to do it. And this is where we have when people say narcolepsy, you automatically think, a person that is sitting down talking to you and just falls asleep. And it's not what happens in many cases. There's a lot of other things that go with it, and I will be making shorter videos like as far as like hallucinations and the cataplexy and all of that stuff, from my perspective. But the main thing is just trying to understand that if a person with a sleeping disorder comes and tells you, oh my God, I'm so tired, using the response, go take a nap, is not going to work. And the reason why I say that is because so many people just tell me, well, go take a nap. Don't you think if I could be taking a nap right now, I would be taking one? We suffer from really, really, a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of people with narcolepsy suffer from a lot of insomnia because our clock is just not working. And it's just that simple. There's no regulating it basically at this point. There are, medicine, like always, is always going to keep on moving forward and going to keep on trying to find a way to, counteract the effects of what our body is doing. Now, there's two different types of narcolepsy. We have narcolepsy with cataplexy and narcolepsy without cataplexy. Some people, it just kind of happens. It's more like an autoimmune thing. And again, this is my opinion because I know depending on who you talk to, there's different opinions. And there are people that get it after either like an infection or a fever or, an accident or anything like that. Now, why am I saying this? Well, I just kind of feel like a lot of people still don't really understand the nature of what it is that it's going on. I personally remember before I was diagnosed, and for so many years, I mean, yes, as a child, I took naps. As a child, I was the first one down. As a child, if I could sleep, I would fall asleep anywhere. Like, you would see pictures of me in parties and stuff, and I was always sleeping. I'm not gonna lie. But as a teenager, as an adult, working and things like that, if you would ever ask me, like you saw my face and you could clearly see that I needed a nap, and you would ask me, I would never respond, I'm sleeping. My response was always, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Now, there is, to me, like sleepy and tired are two different things. I don't know, I should look that up in the dictionary. Sleepy is like when you just want to go to sleep. To me, being tired is like I just want to sit for like a few minutes and just kind of like take a couple of breaths. So I remember walking into the room and, seeing this doctor across me, and he's just like, "So what's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't sleep." He's like, "What do you mean you don't sleep?" I'm like, "I go, 36, 37 hours with not being able to shut my eyes. I'm exhausted. I am always tired. No matter, if I happen to get 8 or 10 hours of sleep on a weekend, I'm exhausted. I'm having memory loss. I'm forgetting days. I'm forgetting things. I'm just kind of like, waking up in places that I don't even know how the heck I got there." And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, and I was like, "And my doctor thinks I have sleep apnea because of my weight or whatever." And he goes and he tells, and he's like, "Well, tell me about your childhood." And we started talking, and I started telling him about, like, how when I was like about 4.5 or 5, my symptoms and stuff. And I believe that there's a video on that, if you want to go ahead and look on how I was diagnosed. And I remember him telling me like narcolepsy, and I'm just looking at him like my brain completely went, because I remember when I was probably like 13 or 14, I remember seeing something about narcolepsy in a book. And I remember, and I remember this like clearly, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this sucks for them," and it just left it like that. And when he says narcolepsy, like my brain went to that day, and I'm like, "Nah, I don't sleep." I had the same misconception that a person with narcolepsy, all they do is sleep, and that they need more sleep. And it's not that we need more, is, there's people with narcolepsy that sleep with medication like 6 hours, 5 hours, and they do great. There are people with narcolepsy that are sleeping 16, 17 hours, and they're still freaking exhausted. So I guess I just kind of wanted to clarify that a little. And like I said, I'm going to be, in the description of this video, there are going to be links into what sleep cycles are, and what I'm going to see which website I'm going to use for the narcolepsy information. I haven't decided that yet. And yeah, there are a lot of tools. There's actually a ton of apps out there. I have an iPhone, so on the Apple store, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, I have 3 different ones, and it really depends on whatever the heck my body wants to do that day. They don't always work. When they do work, they work very, very well. I mean, I can wake up and like I can be alert and I can be functioning for like a good hour. I'm not gonna lie, like it'll give me like an hour of like being really good. And what these apps tend to do is that they're sleep trackers. So you turn them on and they track you while you sleep. And some of them you can set up like, wake me up after 30 minutes, after an hour. You can do power naps. You can do like the entire night. Whatever it is, however you want to set it up. There's different ones. But what they are supposed to do is to wake you up in between the cycles so that you're not waking up while you're in REM. Well, in all the apps that I have, in my Fitbit and everywhere, more than like 70-80% of the time that I'm actually sleeping, whether I'm sleeping an hour, 20 minutes, or 6 hours, or like 14 hours, how I was doing during this whole B12 the first few days, I spent in REM. And the funny thing is that sometimes I can be laying down in bed and I actually think I'm not sleeping, but I'm sleeping. And it's just, the our brain is, it's a beautiful thing. I honestly, like, I love reading about different things and like the different things that our brain can do and stuff like that. But it's really an amazing puzzle, is what I would like to say. And I just honestly just kind of want to share like my opinion and like what I've learned and like throughout this entire process. Sometimes I do wish that I was diagnosed younger, because I feel like I would have taken certain precautions as far as, work and stuff like that, and maybe extending the amount of time that I could have worked. But, everything happens for a reason, and I need to keep believing that, to be honest with you. But my sleep doctor says that she has, I think, at least another person or two like myself that are not responding to medications. So that, I think, is the hardest part. Like, I'm trying to stay as positive as I can, and I'm trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's like with every step that I take forward, I feel like I'm being knocked back like 10 steps. But that's basically it. You know, what I wanted to share, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely share the videos, please, guys. The more people that are reached, the more people that can become aware of, you know, narcolepsy and how hard it really is for people in general. Sometimes we're so consumed and so into our own little issues and our own little problems that we take our life and we take things for granted. And you know, I'm not saying like to like have like, you know, be happy or, you know, be joyful over other people's hardship or whatever, but sometimes looking at what other people are going through sometimes gives you the ability to look at your own situation differently and to be a little bit more grateful and just kind of be like, you know what, if she's gonna be okay, then she feels like she's gonna be okay, then I'm gonna be okay, basically. Well, guys, thank you for watching. I know my hair looks mad bright red right now. I just shaved it, that's what. But